present. Good evening, everyone. I do not know where you are right now. Maybe I would like also to greet you a good morning or good evening, however you want to feel your night, or you want to feel that it is still the beginning of the day. I think it's good to feel that we are just getting started for today. So I just want to make sure before I move forward that you guys, all of you can hear me. Could you please type 1 if you can hear me? I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Could you do that? Type 1, please. Ayon. All right. It's good to see all of you. Well, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Fritzi Laigan. I will be your moderator for tonight. And of course, straight for 2 rows already, for two Mondays that I am your moderator. But I am so honored to be introducing, successful leaders here in Riway International, in this platform of Riway International. So tonight, we'll have two very successful leaders here in Riway, Philippines. And one is actually not here in the Philippines right now. She is coming from another country, meaning to say she is there right now, but of course she is Filipina. So I'm so happy. Later on, I will introduce them. But before anything else, I would like to acknowledge the people, especially the presence of our Team Supreme who graced us tonight. And I would like to make this a formal, to greet him, a formal congratulations to him in this room, because I think we have not done it yet. Let's all please give a round of applause and a congratulations to our Team Supreme Pegasus 1 with 1 ring, Mr. Rex Bugalao. I believe he is here with us. Rex. Yeah, I'm so happy to see that he's with us, and we have this opportunity to acknowledge him. And of course, I would also like to thank another Team Supreme Pegasus 1 with 1 ring, of course, in the person of no other than our professor. Our professor, we call him that, our Team Supreme Pegasus 1 with 1 ring, Mr. Raymond Tong. We miss you so much. And I would like to thank you for the opportunity, for having me here as the moderator. And of course, not only that, for the trainings that I am actually getting from this platform. We also like to acknowledge all our team elites. So can we just have a thumbs up for our team elites, our team Pavo and up? If you're here, could you please do a thumbs up? I would like to see the thumbs up of everyone. Our team elites, we would like to welcome all our star achievers, and of course, our distributors and our guests. I would like to especially mention our guest tonight. If this is your first time to be here, so that we can acknowledge you, we would like to mention your names. Para naman hindi tayo, kasi we're actually talking here in front of our laptop and we cannot really see you. Some of you, we will appreciate if you can open your camera so we can see your beautiful faces and your handsome faces right there in front of me. I cannot see you, but if this is your first time, could you please do me a favor and tell me, could you do a 5? Okay, can you type 5 if this is your first time? 5, please, so we can acknowledge your name. Sam says that this is their 3rd time attendee. Wow, Tristan de Dios, welcome on your 3rd time here in our leadership sharing. Well, we have someone from, okay, we can just see not names. I cannot acknowledge you. Okay, if you are first time, 5, I just have here Galaxy 830. I just hope I can have your name so I can properly acknowledge you. Well, we would all like to welcome you, and just, relax, because tonight I am sure that you will come out here really filled and blessed, because we will be hearing, really hearing inspiration, of course, encouragement, and of course, we will be inspired, of course, from the stories of our leaders this evening. So, I believe that most of us are coming from the Philippines. So, but do we have anyone from outside the Philippines? Could you please just type the country where you are? If you're not in the Philippines, we would also like to acknowledge you. If you're from Malaysia, Of course, I know that Theodore is from Malaysia. We have from Brunei, of course, Doc Ansena, our speaker from Brunei. And who else? Okay, we would all love to welcome you. So I will cut this short because I'm so excited to hear from our first speaker for this evening into our leader sharing. The first speaker, actually, I know her already back in college because she graduated from the same university where I graduated here in Zamboanga City. And, but of course, she actually is in the other department. She's an educator by profession. She's a teacher for 20 years. And you know what? I was having this conversation with her earlier this afternoon, and I've learned from her that she will officially tender her resignation. I just can't believe people are coming into this Riway platform and they're actually leaving their jobs. And I'm sure I was like talking to her. She's been here in Riway since 2017. So what she did in her first 1 year and a half, she just established her team, and she was just doing this part time. She was just doing this part time. So in other words, she's still teaching. I believe she is teaching in high school. Okay, and in 2008, where she already saw that her team is starting to grow big, so she made a decision. You know what? When you're a leader, most of the time along the way, you really have to make a decision. Whatever that decision is, it could be, yes, congratulations, by the way. For people who are moving in to become full time, we would like to congratulate you, okay? So, really, because I am sure that you will not tender that resignation of actually giving up your 20 years of career if you have not seen. Imagine she's been here like 3 years only, and then you can easily just give up your 20 years career in education for this platform. I believe there must be something that this speaker have realized and actually found out that she could, not only better her status financially, but she can become a better person and she can help a lot of people. So, without much ado, without much of my words here, are you all excited? Please all help me welcome our first speaker, Maria Liza Rivera from Zamboanga City, our Diamond 3-star. Could you please give her a round of applause, please?
Buenas noches, everybody. Buenas noches means good evening, no? Fritz, I will type 5, no? Because this is my very first time to share, no, my personal journey, Riway journey here, no, inside this platform. But before anything else, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our team elite, Supreme Pegasus 1 with 1 ring, Rex Bugalaw, Coach Rex, no, from the bottom of my heart, you are really one of the instruments, no, why we are really thriving, no, independently here in Zamboanga City. So I would like to acknowledge also my other uplines, no, and then of course, I will not be here in this platform tonight inside this Riway platform, if not, no, my team. My active team leaders. So bear with me, though I've been practicing already, no, talking in front of talking in front in OPPs, no, and I had a chance also to share in front of through these Zoom meetings. Still, kinakabahan pa rin, no. But then, sabi nga ni, I'm a bit shocked why I was invited to speak here because ang kabak-to-back ko is somebody who's going to be a Pegasus soon. No? Si Team Elite Phoenix, Ann, Senna, congratulations in advance. Aprex, congratulations also. Okay, so I'd like to share with you my Riway journey, and I'd like to limit it to 30 minutes only. Okay? So, why MLM? I got to know multi-level marketing way back 2000. Uh, I forgot, you see? I'm a bit nervous. Let me introduce myself first. So I'm Miss Rivera Maria Liza. I'm 48 years old, a mother of three. I'm from Zamboanga City, and I'm a teacher. My parents are both teachers. So it's a bit very hard for me when I started because my mindset really is of an employee, no? So at least you'll have idea now kung ano yung magiging base ko sa shading ko tonight, no? I live from an employee to being a multi-level marketing, no? A networker. So why MLM? Way back 2000 in Manila, at that time, I was really looking for an opportunity because I was pregnant at that time on my second, and I believe, no, to some mothers, no, you can relate. The moment you start bearing, no, your children, one, two, three, dumadating na po yung moment na you're really looking for an opportunity to augment your finances and to give no better life for your family. And then, one day, I opened the CR sa SM po ito. Inopen ko po yung CR at meron akong nakitang isang papel nakapost sa door. Ang nakasaad doon, are you are you interested to earn 10,000 pesos? At that time, I was connected with Far Eastern University. I was hopping from one university to another kasi I was connected with 3 to 4 universities. So I was teaching physical education. So I realized, no, I was really giving more than 8 hours of my time. I wake up very early in the morning at 4 a.m. I have to leave the house, and then I go back. Usually gabi na rin, no? And despite of working, no, in 4 different schools, hindi talaga sakto yung kinikita ko. Kulang na kulang. And that is the reason why I grabbed that opportunity and I really looked for that office in Quezon Ave. That was the moment na buksan ko ang aking mind, no? Sa opportunity po ng multi-level marketing. So I will not mention the name anymore. And I really fell in love because I got trained for 1 month. After that, I transferred back here in Zamboanga City, thinking that I could push the opportunity. But then, hindi pa ako handa maybe, or hindi pa hinog. I wasn't able to really went no, to the field and promote the opportunity of that company. But I will never forget that idea that multi-level marketing is is an opportunity for me to reach my dreams and goals. So before Riway, there is this one company that I really invested much, no, my time. I took leave for more than 3 years, no. And then sad to say, nakita ko yung kapital na wala dahan-dahan because of the overhead expenses. And I also availed travels abroad. But then, nakita ko talaga yung difference here in Riway International. When I was with that company, though I am entitled to travels, kulang na kulang po ang laman ng packet ko. Much as I want to buy something, no, pasalubong for my family and friends, I simply can't kasi kulang na kulang. Kulang siya. So, but then, I was just thinking, I was really wishing, what if, and I really hope, no, that there will be another company that could really meet my requirement. The product that is very good, the company that could really support the distributors, the marketing platform that could really support serious distributors. I was really waiting for that opportunity. And so 2017, the person who invited me, who introduced me to Riway International, hindi po siya nahirapan because at that time, I was really looking for an opportunity. Nung nakita ko po ang opportunity, no, after the very first presentation of Team Elite Pegasus 1 Jeddah Monte, doon ako naging interested. Nakita ko yung, though at that time, briefly lang, no, yung profile ng company, ng product, the product, which is at that time, I really thought, wow, very unique, unique in the market. And napo-project ko po na this can be really a viable product for the coming years. And I really feel, no, na I will be successful in this company that naging ano ako. And so, to tell you honestly, 2017, that was the time also I went back because I went to business which I did not prosper. So at that time, no, 2017, I decided to go back to teaching. You know, that was also the time I met Riway International. And for the business people inside this chat room, bakit po kaya ang isang negosyante galing sa employment, babalik po siya sa employment? So there is one reason, of course, which is, I know you know, hindi nag-prosper ang negosyo, pwede ko pong sabihin na bankrupt. Masakit pong i-admit, no? But then, that was really the time I decided, babalik na lang ako sa pagtuturo. Pero hindi po nawala sa mind ko po na there is really big opportunity in multi-level marketing. And there were a lot of problems, no, around 2017 before Pure Year. Around that time, sabi nga nila, the moment you start praying, no, very very hard to give you solutions to all your problems, no, you pray with tears in your eyes. I believe that is really the moment na I feel parang answered prayer po talaga ang Riway International. That was the moment Team Elite, Pavo, Bingtan, my upline, my sponsor, introduced me Riway International. Ang sinabi niya lang sa akin is, Liz, merong upcoming product darating dito sa Zamboanga City. You try to watch the video. No? So at that time, sabi ko nga po, I was really looking for an opportunity. So bukas na bukas po ang aking isip sa possible opportunity. So I watched the official video, the product video, but hindi talaga tumatak, no? Until I listened to the OPP, with speaker Upline Jeddah. And so I started to read, no, mga teachers, mahilig muna mag-research, no? Try to interview muna si sponsor, what can you say about the company, the product. And when I asked her, no, the golden question, magkano ang product? Okay? So I went back to teaching after failed business. I went back to teaching, and I said to myself, I have to have a sideline. So would you believe, on the first 6 months, when I went back to the teaching DepEd, I don't have salary, and I have 3 kids to feed. And with all the expenses that we need, to sustain our family, talagang na-bankrupt ako that time. So wala po akong choice but to really look for an opportunity. And that was the time I was introduced to Riway. So after my research, na-excite po ako na it is a live cell therapy, very unique, it's regenerative. And so I asked upline Bing, how much is the product? Alam niyo yung sagot niya. 1 bottle at that time is 19,260. The whole set therapy for 6 months is 125,000 at that time. Alam niyo po yung reaction ko. I laughed. Natawa po ako. kay Bing, kay Applying Bing. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, Bing, kasi magkaibigan po kami, so ang tawagan namin ng first name, Bing, sino naman ang bibili sa atin ng bottle na yan? Maganda siya, medyo totoo, no? Effective siya. Kaya lang, Bing, alam mo naman, I'm a teacher at yung amount or presyo po ng bote is almost the same sa 1 month salary ng mga teachers. So, sino yung bibili? Okay? Lalo na yung one set therapy, 125,000 at that time. Sino yung bibili? Akala ko pala, lahat ng mga tao hindi kaya, ako lang pala. Kasi wala akong sahod per 6 months. So I laughed at her initially. But then, alam nyo na, wala po akong choice but to really understand how successful leaders in Riway did it or are doing it. Because nag-research nga ako, ang daming mga doctors, mga businessmen, mga professionals, no? In other countries, no? They're here in Riway for a long time, 5 years, 10 years. So sabi ko sa kanya, another question is, ano ba ang ginagawa nila na naging successful sila sa Riway? What are they doing? So ang sagot naman ni Bing, no, may upline, ang sagot niya is very simple. Nagtanong din ako sa upline ko. Ang upline naman ni Miss Bing Tan is Supreme Pegasus 2 Lindy Lu Balendez. Okay? So ang sagot naman ni upline Lindy at that time, share lang daw. Basta lang, i-share lang daw ang product. Share. So in the first few months, no, yan lang po talagang ginagawa namin. Nag-share. And accordingly, we have to attend OPPs and we need to invite. We are so excited, no? I have my very best friend who was with me when I started Riway, no, by the name of Kathy Tan. Kathy Tan is now a 3-star. So alam niyo na po, di ba? I really enjoyed, no, when I started doing Riway because I did it with my best friend. So we do business and parang nag-enjoy na rin kami because we do it on weekends after office hours. At ang funny nga, no, when ito yung mga initial, no, mga reactions sa mga bago. They are so excited and so they start inviting people, friends, no, family members and other people. Out of 100, ang darating sa OPP, isa lang. Masaya na kami pag may 3, 5, no? Sometimes wala, but we need to give our share, no, for the expenses. That is really how we started. With some cross lines, nag-sharing po kami sa mga expenses. And one time po, nagpadala din si Team Elite Pegasus 1, no? Rex Bugcalaw. So, Rex, thank you very much. No? Talagang, ito po ang nakita ko sa Riway International na hindi ko po nakita sa ibang companies. Imagine, we are here in Zamboanga City doing our activities. Sometimes we don't have means to sustain our activities, but you know, the sources or resources are coming from other cities. No, minsan hindi namin kilala, dumadating yung support. And so nakita ko na hindi ata ako mahihirapan dito, no, as a starter. And which I'm sure this is also the experience of almost everyone. No? When you start doing Riway, hindi siya mabigat. Why? Because the top leaders will really help and support until such time we become independent. So that is really how I did it, no, when I started my first 3 months. Now, as a teacher, wala akong sahod for 6 months. Would you believe, nakuha ko lang lahat ng mga expenses ko sa Riway International. I am so shocked or surprised sometimes, no? Alam niyo po ang teacher, meron po kaming mga lesson plans and sometimes ino-off ko po ang aking cellphones because I have to finish my lesson plans and other activities. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, may pumapasok na RWs, that is our currency here inside Riway, no, system. So, gradually, nakita ko talaga ang ano to, yung platform ni Riway, no? Na very, very generous po siya. Mahirap po siya sa umpisa. Why? Because we are really looking for our quality leaders, no? To be our core leaders. Yun yung wala naman po talagang madali, no? Because Riway International is just like any other, no, legit business. You have to put in your effort, your time, no? Some amount of investment. So what's the difference, no? Exactly. On my first 2 or 3 months, would you believe, yung kinikita ko is malaki po yung impact for me. Why? Because as a teacher po, mahirap po kitain yung sahod. We work over 8 hours a day. We carry our work, no? From school to house. Wala pong overtime. Okay? Ngayon, dito sa Riway International, ginagawa ko lang po siya as part-time. You know, we do the sharing, we go to a resto, you know, we drink coffee, we present the product, the opportunity. That's it. But you know what we are earning? We are earning more than the salary of a teacher. So, it really, hindi na po ako nag-stop. Kasi nakita ko na talaga siya. Nakita ko talaga yung opportunity dito sa Riway International. And you know what? At first, ang kita ko sa Riway International is more than one salary. Later on, more than 3 times na sa salary ko. Later on, yung nawawaw po kami sa 100,000 na income, no, in a given month sa other company, parang wow na kami sa 100,000 and a top leader in that company of more than a decade already. I think between 10 to 15. Nawawaw na po kami. Kaya I said, dito sa Riway International, imagine that. When I started experiencing hitting 6 digits, sabi ko talaga, no, iba na to. Hindi na siya yung typical na sinasabi nilang MLM, MLM. Especially when I started exploring, no, getting focus doing Riway. Nag-file po ako ng leave. I think that was after a year and a half. Nag-file po ako ng leave because gusto ko pong i-experiment talaga ano po ang potential, no, opportunity dito sa Riway if you will do it full time. So when I did it full time, ladies and gentlemen, not to brag, no, hindi naman tayo nag-brag. I hit my first millions. That was the time when I filed my leave. And then I was asking myself, hindi pa naman ganon. I was not really that serious yet. Parang wala pa talagang wala pang sistema, we are just doing, no, what is being told for us to do. Hindi pa kumbaga kusa yung mga activities namin. We were just followers pa lang at that time, and we're hitting that big income already. And so yung decision ko po na mag-resign, no, hindi po yan instant or overnight decision. So it took me more than a year. Talagang tinitingnan ko po yung progress po, no, ng paglaki ng group, ang pasok po ng ROI. So, before I'll end, very, very critical po yung moment, no, when I fell in love with Pure Care. Si Pure Care, gaya nga sinasabi nila na it serves as a bridge. So nakita ko talaga yung opportunity, the moment when I personally, it's very, very important for me. If you start taking the capsule, although I have my first, no, powerful testimonies, a breast cancer patient, a colorectal cancer patient, they were my first 2 testimonies na hindi po nag-proceed sa chemotherapy at sa surgery. Those first 2 clients of mine, in 2017, depleted na po ang funds nila. So ang laki-laki po ng impact for me para din sa kanila kasi hindi na po sila naglabas ng pera. But you know, even after those two testimonies, hindi pa rin ako 101% sold until ako na po mismo ang naka-experience ng goodness ng prayer. I have my perennial ear infection, no, since small. So, when I was with Riway already, nandun pa rin siya. Because when we started po, wala po kaming pera to purchase for our person. I started as silver, by the way. Naghanap po ako ng client, no, who needs the product with the permission na ayaw niyang gawin ng business. So I asked him, is it okay if I will encode my name? But I will give you your permission. Parang ganun ba? Naghanap ako ng paraan. That is really how I started. And for that reason, I did not really have experience, no, to taste the capsule. Ano ba ang laman ng capsule? Wala akong experience, would you believe? And that is one reason why at present, if it's possible for me to share free samples, no, to those incoming, no, mga prospects, leaders na sa baba, binibigay ko po. Kasi I experienced it, no, when we started, para kaming hungry, no, to taste that product. So, ang ginagawa ko po, when I started Riway, bit-bit ko lang po yung bote na pinahiram sa akin ni Upline Bintan. Pang-demo ko lang po yan, sarado po yung box. And so, dumating na po yung moment, no? Yung aha moment ko, kasi yung infected ear ko po, lumaki na po yung buto sa tenga. You know, despite of taking 3 branded medicines straight 3 days, 3 times a day, yung pain, hindi man lang nag-subside. In fact, lumaki pa yung bukol. I was just afraid, you know, as a mother of 3, what will happen to them if something will happen to me? And according to the of my doctor friend, yung infection ng tenga, ang lapit-lapit lang po sa brain. And so I cannot sleep with the pain. I was really in so much pain at 2 in the morning. I don't have a choice. I opened the bottle, pero kinausap ko muna ang bote. Sinabi ko sa bote, no? Now I have the chance to test whether you are really true. You know my sales pitch when I started. You try this bottle. This is very good for all kinds of pain. This is regenerative. This is very good for arthritis, migraine. Yun pala ako, hindi ko man lang na-try. Pero nung time na yon at 2 in the morning, I cannot sleep. Sabi ko nga doon sa bote, dito kita susubukan kung totoo ka. You know, inurasan ko siya kasi ang sinasabi ko talaga is mabilis ang effect. So after 2 minutes, para lang nag-switch off yung pain dito sa tenga ko. And so, you know, I realized, kaya pala, with that amount of 19,000 or 125,000, people will really find ways to look to buy that product, if not for themselves, for their loved ones. I myself experience how it is to have loved ones, no, with you at home. They're in so much pain, much as you want to help, but you cannot. Kulang. And so, the rest is history. Ang dami po namin mga na-accumulate po na mga testimonies. And if you have the chance to listen to some of my team leaders, they have very powerful testimonies. And we were able to come up with evidences, no, to show to the people. So, mahaba na po ang sharing ko. Okay? Now, why Riway? Please, Fritz, can you please show my 2 slides? Why Riway? Why did I stay with Riway for more than 3 years now? Okay, so slow but ito na yung sinasabi ng aking upline. Just share, share, share. You know, nag-umpisa lang po ako mag-isa. And then later, nag-duplicate na po ako. I duplicated myself to my leader here dito sa lower left, si Miss Cathy Tan. And then sa taas, nandyan po ang aking mga colleagues, no, from senior high school. Nandyan din ang aking mga kapatid. Nandyan yung mga best friend ko, nandyan naman sa right corner. Sa taas naman, nandyan naman ang mga relatives ko, mga elders. Diyan po sa center, nandyan po ang mga relatives ng mga kasamahan ko po dito sa Riway International. You know, we are bringing in not just our best friends, no, our colleagues, but you know, we are bringing in our families. Diba? It's no joke to bring in your families inside Riway International. And for you to allow your loved ones to also bring in their best friends. Bring with them the family members as well. It's no joke. So why are we bringing in our family, friends, our close contacts? It's because we are really sold 110% here inside Riway International. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I passionate even after 3 years? Hindi talaga mag-fade yung aking passion in doing Riway. Because I know you know and you experience it also, na yung happiness pala hindi lang po in terms of money. You tend to bring your families, no, closer to you. So we are forging a stronger bonds and relationships with all the people that we bring in inside Riway International. Most especially on my second slide, if you can show, Miss Fritz, I was able to enjoy, no, travels in different countries, bringing with me my friends, no, and business associates here in Riway International. So that's Miss Bintan on my upper left. If not because of her, hindi po ako hindi ko mamimit, no, makikita ang opportunity here inside Riway International. And me as a person thinking na I'm going to build, no, my empire. Empire talaga, no? I'm going to build my fortune inside Riway International, and I will be bringing my loved ones inside, my friends and relatives. So me, as a leader, I have to know what exactly am I getting into. I have to know the people behind. I have to know everything about Riway International. So I started to join, no, when I joined the very first leadership training in Davao, nakita ko po kung gaano pala kadami yung mga leaders coming from different cities. And very funny because sabi ko sa friend ko, Kat, hindi lang pala tayo ang mga lokal-lokal dito sa Riway, no? Ang dami pala. That was my comment. I cannot forget that. And so, yung top center, lalo na, no, when I had the chance to attend, that was my first recognition. I received my 1-star uh, pin that was in Singapore, the biggest venue in Singapore. And doon na, no turning back, dire-diretso na po. And how wonderful it is, no, if you do your business together with your loved ones and friends. It's as if you're just enjoying, no? Para ka lang nagre-recreate, nag-enjoy, but actually you're doing business. So, last but not least, why Riway International? Ang dami pong first dito sa Riway International, no? I firmly believe that Riway International, which I am very, very grateful, and I feel so blessed. Thank you to the company CEO, to all the BDs, to all the staff, to all the partners, to all the team leaders. Thank you very, very much. I believe you made us leaders, members here, in Zamboanga City, pandemic ready. Ready po kami because of Riway International. And because of Riway International, during this pandemic time, we are able to help not just ourselves, not just our family and friends, but as well other people. So thank you very, very much. I hope I was able to inspire everybody. No, klaro po ba ang aking presentation? Thank you, Ms. Fritz, for inviting me. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Riway International Team Zamboanga, members and leaders. Good night. Thank you.
Speaker, our first speaker, a round of applause. Ms. Lisa Rivera. Thank you very much, Lisa, for that. As I was listening to her, I can relate as in, I can really relate everything that she's saying, as if her journey is the same journey that I have. And just before I introduce the second speaker, there's just three things that I saw in her that she started to succeed, okay, in her Riway journey. And the first one is she believed in the industry of multi-level marketing. I believe that most people, if you are first time here, okay, if you are first time here, maybe first time to be hearing that, oh, this is a multi-level marketing or this is a network marketing, I think the first thing that you really need to believe is the industry. How this industry can really help you, according to her, reach her dreams and goals. Do you believe that? For those who are already with us, really, this type of industry, she's been working for more than 20 years. And as we know, and if we can just be honest, if we have been working like me, I have been in the corporate for about 13 years, and I have also done other jobs. And I can really say that it's, it's just like rolling and it's the same thing all over again. And you cannot see really that light, no? While you are putting all the effort. So you have to really believe that this industry can really achieve what you really want. The other thing she talks about, Riway International, so she talks about the company, and then she was also talking about the product. These three things, and of course, the people behind her. And if these three things, as you go along, you will just have to, elevate your belief, and I believe you will really, really see results the same way our Diamond 3-star did experience. So once again, can we please give Lisa a round of applause this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa, thank you. Yes, imagine, she said this. Maybe if your first time, you might be thinking, so some people are so, they cannot open their hearts and minds and even open their friends to come over because they want to observe. Now, Lisa is not the only person who did that. I also did that. I wasn't 100% believing yet, but it took me about 4 months, 6 months before I was fully, really 100%. Now, and of course, it doesn't really require you at first to have that much amount of money. I can relate to her because I started without anything to even buy one bottle, to tell you honestly. So don't think that this is something, because she mentioned the price, 135,000, 25,000 before. And for some people might think, wow, what is that? That's a lot of money. But if we were able to do that, Lisa was able to do that. If you're first time here, she said something. You just have to have an open mind, okay, to see everything, an open heart to come to learn. Thank you very much for inspiring us. So, are you excited for the second speaker this evening? I am very excited because this is my first time to introduce her, but she's one of the leaders that I met when I had my first two in 2017, my first two international travel, where I qualified to attend a meeting with the CEO. It's actually what do you call that event, no? A date with the president. Okay, a date with the president. It was in November. I believe it is in Kuala Lumpur, and I met her because we had a debrief after that whole day of training with the CEO. And then she's one of them. I was just listening to her, and I've learned that she's from Brunei. And after that, the next time I saw her was already a recognition night because we were seated in the same rank at that moment. And so I was looking up to her right now because she is not only Team Elite Phoenix, but you know what? This is her last month to run for her Pegasus rank. And you know what? I would like to congratulate her already in advance because I know that she'll be able to do it. So I would like to really congratulate. No? I will not mention her name first, but where is she coming from before she came to Riway? You know, she was raised, she is a Filipino, but raised, she grew up in Brunei, okay? And she was married to Mr. Eric Cho. Mr. Eric is also part, of course, part of our Riway family. They're doing as a couple this business together. And as a background, she graduated her BS molecular biochemistry in UST, University of Santo Tomas. You know, every time she speaks about the product, she speaks about technology, I would always, you know, I'm just blessed to most of the time when I am in Manila, I get to see her speaking. So I usually had a notebook with me and write down because I believe being, you know, a graduate of molecular biochemistry, I believe she is one person that can really attest that we have really a very good product. And not only that, she also took her postgraduate studies in international health, okay, and UP, and her PhD and doctorate in humanities, the Leaders Academy and University in Oklahoma, USA. She specializes in stem cell science in the Dominican Republic. So that's the reason why I really look up to this person. And not only that, she's advocating stem cell for the past 4 years in the Philippines. She's expanding in other countries, like of course Brunei and Malaysia, and I believe that they're all over international already. So I want to have your attention here 100% because she told me earlier that she will not show a slide, but she will speak from the heart. So when someone says she speaks from the heart, I would suggest that all of you really take a listen and take notes of what she will be sharing because definitely you will be learning from her. So please help me welcome our second speaker for tonight, no other than our Team Elite Phoenix, soon to be our Pegasus, okay? Her last run this month, Dr. Ann Sena, ladies and gentlemen. Please, let's give
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. There's a very big thunderstorm with lightning in Brunei. So I'm not quite sure how strong my connection is or how loud I am to you. Would you mind doing a thumbs up for me if you can hear me quite clearly? All good. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I am an epidemiologist. That means I study trends, probability, transmission, and statistics on certain diseases. So I guess it's a bit timely right now to talk about COVID, no? As you know, there is a stronger mutant genetic strain of COVID that was recently found in Quezon City as well as Malaysia. So the strain is called G614. So what difference does it have to the original COVID strain D614? Well, for one thing, it has a higher viral load. That means it contains a lot more viruses in it, and it's so much more transmittable, no? So we're in for a rough ride. Kasi according to the World Health Organization, the reproductive count of the original strain is only 2.5, meaning for every one person infected with COVID, about 2 or 3 more people will be infected. So the CDC said that it's actually higher right now. The reproductive count is from 5.7 to 6, meaning for every one person infected, 6 more people will be infected by COVID. So this is a very, very strong transmission rate, which will put COVID into one of the most infectious diseases known to mankind. So we have to be very, very careful. Now, some of the things that are going on right now in particular is zinc. A lot of doctors, medical doctors are prescribing zinc to patient. Zinc is useful because it stops the multiplication or the duplication of the viruses within your body. So that's why they're promoting zinc. But rest assured that our pure tier placenta has zinc content in it. There are a lot of nutrients, amino acid, as well as trace minerals and zinc found in placenta. So if you're taking pure tier and you're not really positive COVID, you don't have to take zinc because it's already in your pure tier. Alrighty, I hope that's a good information. The next thing is that a lot of people are talking about vitamin C right now. Well, there's a lot of vitamin C in pure tier as well. As you know, we have lycopene content and we have avocado oil. All this have good vitamin C content in it, no? And there are also collagen, marine collagen, squalene, which is also high in zinc content. So two of the most sought after preventive remedy for COVID, zinc and vitamin C are already present in pure tier. That's really all that you need, no? So we're actually very lucky that we promote pure tier full time and we don't really have to spend that much for it because we are full-time distributor and because of the very platform of Riway, which allows us to have product wallet to consume pure tier and claim it over the counter for free, that saves a lot of distributors money. So I believe that we are here together for a reason. Okay, just so you know, there's also one statistic that I would like to highlight. The current death of COVID in the Philippines alone is 2,665. So you don't have to worry about mortality or death due to COVID because it's only at 16%. So it's a very low probability of death. There's a lot more recovery, no? And a lot more that are asymptomatic. So we shouldn't let COVID run our life. We should do the most of what we can. No, we are strong people. We can survive this pandemic. Okay, so this is just a very short introductory for me. So if I'm not sure if everybody knows about me, but my family, my brother is here, Michael Sina. So we migrated to Brunei in the late 1980s. We were all educated in there, me and my 6 siblings. Uh, However, you know, the time have to come that we have to go back to our country of origin at the age of 18 because we are no longer dependent of our parents. So we have to exit out of Brunei. So that's the time where I had to take my medicine in University of Santo Tomas. Now, after working, after doing my medicine, I went back to Brunei and I became a diplomat in Pakistan Embassy in Brunei. After which they transferred me to an international law firm, Abrahams Davidson. So I spent many years in that law firm trying to build my career. However, I came about with a very traumatizing experience. I lost my mother when she was barely in her 40s due to an autoimmune disease. lupus is unknown and uncurable. There's nothing that any doctors could do about it except give palliative care, no? So what that disease does is your white blood cell are eating, literally eating your kidney, your lungs. At the time of death, my mother had zero kidney function. I wish Pure Tear was available then. I would still have my mother. But it doesn't mean that I lost my mother, that I would lose my love for humanity. No, we should have compassion to everyone and treat everyone as if they are loved ones. This is the only way that we could have solidarity. Kaya I'm really very very generous when it comes to things that I've learned, tactics or strategies or secrets, trade secrets. There, I always share it. I readily share it because I believe in compassion towards everybody. So I realized that life is short. That happened when me, the eldest daughter, who was tasked, who was brainwashed, if you may, since childhood, that my mother will leave us at a very young age, and I would have to take her place. Kasi my mother was given a life sentence at the age of 18, meaning she would only stay alive for the next 10 years. At 28, she would expire. So at a very young age, I was trained to take over my mother. So it was very traumatizing for me to learn that I have inherited lupus. I started having very bad toxic hyperthyroidism. I started getting tumors in my breast. And I was so happy that my husband, a New Zealander, had access to Pure Tear. In fact, the Alpha Laboratory in Mount Wellington, Auckland, is just behind the house of my husband in New Zealand. It's literally you could go there in 5 minutes. So I'm very lucky he had access to Pure Tear then. We actually were already in the Philippines in 2016. 1 year, I mean 2015 rather, 1 year before before the first office opened in the Philippines, we were already trying our luck in promoting Pure Tear. So I relate so much with Ma'am Lisa because it took me quite a while to resign and do Pure Tear fully. But then when I realized the obligations that I have to my team in the Philippines, um, and to all the people who basically trusted me and who bought Pure Tear from me, I realized I cannot leave them hang and dry. I cannot leave them without help or support or guidance or training. And so I did the ultimate sacrifice of giving up my career in my law firm. However, it wasn't a very fast journey for me because I've always lived my life according to the book of The Art of War. If you've heard of an author called Chusi, he wrote the book The Art of War. So The Art of War says that between a person who could foresee a problem and a person who could solve a problem, which one is better? I'd like to think that a people who could prevent problems from coming out, and who could do preventive measures, and who could silently, discreetly, subtly solve a problem, I I believe they're much more powerful. So I've always lived my life according to that principles. Kaya my journey in Riway is neither fast or aggressive because I do not want complications. I believe in the good of mankind. I believe that everybody is innately doing good for everyone, and so I should not abuse it in any way. So I thread very, very carefully during my time in Riway. Kaya I wasn't going too fast. I just made sure that I build my team in accordance to the principles of Riway. However, a time came when Dr. Lim, Mr. Lim Bunhong, our CEO and founder, we were lucky enough to attend a training with him called Train the Trainers in Kuala Lumpur, and there he computed a very, very complex mathematical equation of how many times do you need to fold an A4 paper for the distance to reach the moon, which is around, I think, 430,000 kilometers. And you could attain that much kilometers by simply folding the paper to the right times, to the right amount. And my father is a mathematician. You know, my father is actually a professor, no? And the loan equation that he did was actually very complex. Then I realized that our CEO founder is actually a genius. He is a mathematical genius. And I've also heard that while most companies have their own actuarial scientists to build on their marketing plan, Dr. Lim was actually very, very significant in the creation of our marketing plan. Kaya I believe that our platform is very, very stable. It's no joke, and in my more than 4 years with Riway, I have found out that if your tree is expanded, your returns of investment could be up to 60 to 70%, and it's stable because of how genius our CEO and founder is. So that gives me pride, and that gave me confidence to do Pure Tier full time. The next thing I realized was when I was privileged enough to be with our Team Supreme Pegasus One with One Ring Rex Bugalao in Bangkok, where they invited 20 of the top leaders in the Philippines. So I was then together with Rex, and for the first time, I have attended a top leaders meeting. Did you know that one of the most important meeting in Riway International is the top leaders meeting? And this came from the core management team themselves. Why? Because the most important tactic and strategies are bridge between the CMT and the top leaders of a country during a TLM. They are very transparent with any operational changes in the portal. They are very transparent with upcoming promotions and incentives. They will tell you 6 months before whether we will have LTS, dinner nights, Pegasus night, star meetings, and what have you. Everything will be laid out to you, and you are like the CMT, part and parcel of the planning of the expansion of Riway globally, not just in the Philippines, but they are planning globally. So when I attended that Bangkok top leaders meeting, I realized that my team needed a representative in this TLM. If I wanted firsthand information, and if I wanted to be be at least competitive in the race, we will need a Pegasus in a team to be in a top leaders meeting. Then I realized that it's not right for me to just think that it's all about me, whether I'm comfortable or not, whether I'm conservative, whether I live by the principles of the art of war. It's not about me anymore. It's actually about the team. And whether I make that sacrifice or not will depend on how much do I truly care for the development of my team. And so I decided to finally fight. I decided, after so many years, I decided to come out of my little box. And it's difficult for me because I'm an introvert, and everyone in Riway knows, everyone in Team Elite knows that I'm usually the girl who would sit by the corner and be very, very quiet. I'm actually very shy. I only talk to Rex because Rex is like a Winnie the Pooh. So he's so huggable. So I only talk to him, literally. Whenever there are any dinner, team elites, meetings, whatever, I only have the guts. I only have the confidence to come up to Rex to say hi to him. But finally I decided to do that. Unfortunately, my confidence to try my luck came at the height of the pandemic, June. And this was not an easy fight. I remembered I was sitting in my living room, no. There were three of us, my husband, who's a Team Elite Phoenix, me, and then George Lai, his cousin and investor also in Riway. So Eric was giving me 101 reason why I should not fight for Pegasus during this pandemic. And I could fight anytime I want, just not during this pandemic. My husband has always been very, very pragmatic. He's 30 years older than me. He's practically my father, but I love him to bits. So, so he was advising me as a daughter not to go for it. Whereas George Lai, his cousin, was telling me, burn your bridges, live at the edge. There will be no perfect timing for you. It's either what you grab the moment now or you let it go, and this opportunity might never come by you again. And so I was overwhelmed. I said, how can I do it during this pandemic? How? I'm in Brunei. I don't even have one bottle with me. I don't even have any access face to face to do an OPP because it's simply not allowed during this pandemic. And George Lai told me, how do you eat an elephant? Then I said, you cut it into pieces until you're able to bite it and chew on it. And then he said, exactly, bits and pieces until you're able to finish the elephant. Do not let the magnitude of the elephant overwhelm you. And true enough, during June, July, and August, there were so many little miracles that made me finish the fight. It was hard. I struggled a lot, but I did not quit. I did not quit. There were issues with dead placement. If the account has been inactive and there's no one Riway point that enters the account, it will be deactivated. Unfortunately, that will also deactivate your entire leg. That was a big problem with me with the placement for the Pegasus ranking. Because as you know, 5 diamond structured in a triangle is the best placement for 13 2-star. Unfortunately, I couldn't comply with that, and it's the easiest and the cheapest way because the line was deactivated. So I had that big issue. And recently, there were just so many system error with credit card. And Riway Philippines Pasay branch has closed every month. And the stocks was so limited, we were stretching it down. So it was really hard, but I ate. Ninamnam ko lahat. Talagang kinagat ko siya and I chew on it and finish the fight as hard as I can. But there were also good blessings, The advent of Zoom, the development of the leaders becomes a lot more faster. Duplication was so much easier. And we became so much closer, stronger together. And the advent of digital sales made us a lot more functional. So there are those good things as well. And I'm so happy that everything has been in place already. And I believe that my husband, Eric Chok, will finish his Team Elite Supreme Supreme Pegasus One by the end of this year. So we have already strategized it that by the end of 2020, both me and my husband will actually be a Pegasus. So these are all blessings in disguise, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Always remember that. If something doesn't kill you, hindi ka namatay in embarrassment, hindi ka namatay sa kahihiyan, that means it will make you so much more stronger. No? So just to as my closing statement, no, um most people, especially in the upper middle class, this is by demographic, by statistics, it's about there are about 500,000 in the upper middle class earning 115,000 pesos per month and above. So there's about 500,000 in the upper middle class. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not quite sure how you will view it. That is the bulk of the people who could afford pure tier if you will choose to market within this demographic. Now, bear in mind though that most of us are already content. Whether you're poor, you're middle class, or you're rich, most of us are conservative because our country is known to have a lot of trials, from typhoons to earthquake to volcanic eruptions to everything, you know. So most of us are very conservative with what we have, and we usually psych ourselves to be conservative. So with that being said, people don't need to be saved or rescued most of the time. But what they need is knowledge of their power and how to use it. So if you could just change your approach from selling into sharing, and for them to realize their immense power to help everyone around them, and for the Philippines to become a better place, and for our economy to skyrocket and survive this pandemic, I believe we will have people who are willing to fight side by side with us until we finish this journey towards the betterment of the Philippines. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Wow, that's really amazing information, and not only information but encouragement. And of course, I felt that she is actually preparing us for something bigger. Would you agree? Would you agree that she just want? I just felt that Doc Ann was like telling us, "Okay, come with us together and let's do this." Can you feel that? Can we give Doc Ann Sena a round of applause for that really and I just hope that I told you. I was actually warning you a while back that you should be what? You should get ready with your pen and paper. So, and that's a lot of really good information. Other than you kept us updated as to the news trend right now of COVID, and of course informing us that we're blessed that we don't need anything. We already have pure here, so if only we're continuously taking. We actually also mentioned right now, you know what, people here, I believe most of those who are, if you see them wearing this coat right now, I believe they're taking the products for free. So I would like to ask you, if you're first timer here, would you also like to take products for free? So you don't need really to worry about that, because that is really possible here in Riway. And I like what she said, because you know what, it encourages me. I don't know if it did to you, that she is actually moving slowly, building up her team according to the principle of Riway. And I think, you know what, after this month. After this month, I do not know how this group of Dr. Ann will go and how powerful this group will really go. So because she already prepared her team really well. She also mentioned about encouraging us to be part of that top leaders meeting. So that's the secret. The secret is not really for us just to fight for a rank, but if we're part of that team top leaders meeting, then we are like part of the company because we are working together with the core management team as to planning, as to what will be the future, not only of the company, but of course our team. And so you know what she mentioned? She mentioned that along the way, this is no longer about her. She said that this is already about her team. So she is fighting no matter what. She said, of course, it wasn't really easy. She wasn't really easy, even despite that she mentioned, when we were like chatting a while back, she mentioned to me, you know what, I thought this is like easy, hindi pala, no? But I can see that because she has calculated, risk already. She knows what the risks are and then how she's going to move forward. And I believe that she will really finish her fight for her last month, this month of August. And another thing that we will learn about what she shared tonight is looking at the challenge as like that big elephant. So the question was, how will you be able to eat that elephant? You have to eat that bit by bit. Okay, so she mentioned something like, do not be overwhelmed with the size of the elephant. So I think I need to think about that. I hope that you can also take that home tonight before we will go back and before you even sleep tonight. I want you to think about all the sharings that our two speakers did share to us and inspire to us this evening. So again, thank you so much, Dr. Ann Sena, for that. She believes that Filipinos can really do this. And we actually would like to take it from her because I believe that if she will be able to do this, she believes in us. So definitely we'll be able to do that. So for our two speakers this evening, thank you so much for the inspiration. Thank you so much for your time. Despite, I know that you have also a lot of things doing with your team. You gave us the time really to come and inspire us. This is what I love about Riway, because we have venue like this, even if we're just in Zoom, we can inspire, we can uplift each other. Some of us may not all the time be, high. Some of us are in the low, parts of our journey, but something like this. That's why I would like to encourage all our leaders to bring your team when there's a leader sharing. I believe that we will be having one with RDG this coming Thursday, and of course on Wednesday, through this platform, we have an OPP, so product presentation. So for some people who would like to, know more, what is this that they're talking of, this really wonderful product that can prevent me, that can help me actually protect my body from COVID right now. What is this? If you want to know more, then you ask the person who invited you here. You ask the person who invited you here. So I know that it's a bit late, but before, I just want you to laugh a little bit because today we came to learn. So I just hope that, you have that passion to keep on learning. Not only, as we learn, we're sharing to people. So I'd like to share as my parting message to all of you. I just want you to a little bit smile. They said about, it's actually Henry Ford who said this about learning, because I would like to encourage you to really make your time. If there are leaders sharing, please do come. Please do attend. Make your time to get more inspiration from our leaders. Can you read this? It says, anyone who stops learning is old. So, but whether at the 20 or 80. So, that's why if you have this type of privilege, if you have this privilege to learn, please do not be like what? An old person. Because if you're no longer learning, then of course, you're no longer learning, then growth is really not possible. It says here, you're already like, you're already old. Would you like to be called an old person? Of course not, because we still have a lot of things to do. So again, I would like to thank all of you for to all our guests, especially for the first timer. Please come to talk to the person and ask them, how can you get started with us, and then how can you really benefit the way all these leaders that shared to us this evening. So God bless everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the privilege of sharing our stories to you. Good evening. God bless. Thank you so much for joining us.